Meta recently released their SAM 3 model, and over the past few weeks, I've been testing its capabilities, and I wanted to show you some of the things it can do. It's insane. The SAM 3 or Segment Anything model allows you to use text and visual prompts to edit, identify, segment, or follow objects or elements in images and videos. They have five main tools built into SAM 3. They have video cutouts, image cutouts, 3D scenes, 3D bodies, and isolated sounds. And I'm going to walk through all of them in this video and tell you about a few practical use cases for each of them. The main use case that Meta sees with this product is that you'll actually be able to use the effects that I'll show you in their apps like Instagram and Vibes. These will be coming out to those platforms soon, but until then, you can use SAM 3 in the playground, and I'll put the link at the top of the description. So let's look at some of the use cases. Let's start with video cutouts. This is a great place to bring in some videos that you want to add some effects on using AI. So I'm going to try out this one of this woman dancing. You can see that there's a lot kind of going on here, but it is kind of just her dancing. She's doing a great job. But what I want to do is add some cool effects. So in this video, there's kind of a bunch of people wearing different outfits. And in the center, there's the woman in the orange hoodie that's kind of just dancing. And what I want to do is add an effect just to her. So what we can do is describe the object that I want to select. So I'll say woman in the orange hoodie, and then I'll say preview frame. And what that does is it basically just shows you that it's selecting the right thing. And then you can go to search entire video and it'll select her outline for the whole video. You can see it did a great job here. It captured her for the entire video, making sure that she's object one. One thing that it did do that wasn't great is that it actually selected the guy on the left and named it object 2. But that's not a big deal because we can actually just delete him as an object because we just want the effects to be on her. So now once he's deleted, we'll continue to the effects. And here you can see that the effect that's enabled already is highlight. So you can see that she's a little highlighted, but I don't really like that effect. So you can simply delete it. So let's look through some of the effects that they do have. They have effects like clone, which is this one, which is pretty cool. They also have glitch, which kind of makes her like glitch out. And if you're kind of like editing a music video, I think this is a great tool. But I think one of my favorite tools is actually trail. And you can even change the numbers of kind of that design that kind of trails her. And I think kind of matching her hoodie with the orange is really cool. Now I want to show you image cutouts. While it has a lot of the same effects as the video cutout, I think there's some different use cases here. So I chose this image of people walking around in the rain, kind of all wearing umbrellas, kind of a lot going on for a specific reason, because I want to see how far I can push this model. I want to see if it can actually count every single umbrella and tell me how many there are. Let's try it. So I'll simply put in umbrella and click send. And you can see that it highlighted almost every single umbrella in this image. You can see it missed one here and some of the top that are cut off, but overall it did a really good job. This would be great if you're maybe trying to see how many people you have at a party, and then you can just take a photo of the party and just count them using SAM. And of course, you can also add effects like we did in the last one. So we can try doing contour, which I think will look really cool, where it basically creates lines coming out of all of the different umbrellas and really honestly looks like pretty cool art. And we can also try some other effects like box, which kind of like makes it easy to see all the umbrellas, which I think looks pretty cool. And you can obviously do a lot of different effects as well. Another use case for this is actually in science. A very common and tedious task for scientists is actually counting up the amount of cells or organisms in a petri dish. And this can take a very long time, but using SAM 3, you can do it in seconds. So I can just describe cells in the objects and ask it to search. And you can see very quickly it highlighted exactly what I was looking for. And like you saw in the last image, you can have a ton of different objects on the screen and it'll be able to count them all. Now let's check out 3D scenes. 3D scenes basically allows you to create a simple 3D representation of a product from an existing image where you don't need an expensive 3D scan. Let's say you're a game developer or you create assets for AR or VR. This tool can very quickly help you fill up an environment with different props or background assets. So let's say a game developer needs some speakers for a scene. Instead of spending hours creating that object, they can simply use SAM 3. So let's test it out. All you have to do is actually just click on the object and then click generate in 3D. And only a few seconds later, it generated, and this looks pretty insane. If I was playing a video game, I definitely wouldn't look twice at this or notice that it was any different. And for a game developer, this could save you so much time. And you can export in PLY or GLB formats, which are two standard 3D formats, and import it into their other environment. You can also do something very similar with bodies where you can turn people's poses into 3D. And like the last one, there's very similar use cases. This would be great for game developers building out virtual worlds where you can quickly get rough 3D characters or poses very quickly. I can also see this being used in health and fitness where you can analyze posture or joint angles, where then fitness coaches could come in and use this data. And look at this. You can see it was able to very quickly capture her exact pose down to the movements her fingers were making. And you can also download this just like the last one into PLY or GLB formats. But my favorite use case for SAM3 is isolating sounds. So I'm gonna upload this video.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like.
And you can hear there's some background sound and Mark's voice does not sound great. So what you can do is ask it to isolate these elements. So one would be voice and background sounds. And then I'll click isolate sound.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion.
So we'll start by listening to the original sound.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like.
So now let's just listen to his isolated voice.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like.
And you can hear that there's no background sound. So if you're in a crowded environment and you're recording a video, this can save you in post-production. And that's just one of the use cases. You can also add effects here, like studio sound, where we can make his voice sound more professional. So it adds a little echo.
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like.
So I think for this one, just maybe adding a little of the voice enhancer of studio sound sounds good. But there's also some fun like audio effects like lo-fi.
Oh gosh. I think
telephone.
It's probably going to be something like.
Robot.
I don't know, at least
pitch down.
$600 billion through 20.
Vibrato. So you can see how this tool can be really fun. And just all of these tools, I feel like have a ton of use cases for professional uses, also just for having fun. I'm excited for these tools to come to Instagram and Vibe soon and to play around with them more. Thanks for watching This Week in AI, and I'll see you next time.